I'll do it.
Wow, so moist.
This has gone too far. If you're new to all this, and sweetie, I hope the rock you've been living under was at least rant-free. Reincarnation basically means that you die and respawn as something. It could be another person, could be a monster, could be a household appliance. At this point, it could literally be anything. When it's at its best, reincarnation is about transformation. It's about getting a second chance and having some sort of escapism. It's having a fresh start. It lets you erase all of those embarrassing decisions that you made when you were 14. Now, I don't hate weird reincarnations. Far from it. What I dislike is fetish-based cash grabs. Reincarnation anime has always been one of my comfort genres. It's something that just lets me lose reality for a little bit. I mean, just seeing a delivery truck on some quiet rural street makes me start imagining myself becoming someone better, cooler, someone who doesn't spill ramen on their keyboard twice a month. But lately, the sheer amount of absurd and downright sickening reincarnations that I'm seeing is ruining something that I actually love, and I just have to call that out. At this point, things have gotten so bad that it feels like authors are coming up with ideas by playing the strangest game of Mad Libs ever created. God, I'm old. And all of this for what? A quick buck? As someone who has a massive bookshelf filled with every type of reincarnation and genderbend manga imaginable right behind her, I have read some absolutely wonderful series, ones that have kept me entertained for hundreds upon hundreds of chapters. There are just too many good options to be moving ahead with all of this less fortunate material. Honestly, I feel like all of my problems can be summed up by looking at one single series in particular. And that series is Aru asa damihead mic ni natai torakun no jinsei. Or, in English, My Life After I Became a Dummy-Head Microphone One Morning. It has that classic anime gigantic title energy in all of its glory, but that's a topic for another video. This anime is egregious in every possible sense of the word. It follows an unnamed protagonist as his encounter with Truck-kun sends him to the next life as a microphone? And specifically a dummy head ASMR microphone. Like, what even is this? And almost immediately there are girls whispering sensually into his ears? This is definitely fetish content, and it's not even making an attempt at being subtle. Being reborn as some sort of inanimate object isn't exactly a new concept. It's been done many, many times, and it's been done much better. Like, take the vending machine and sword reincarnation anime, for example. Even if at times they're a little bit weird, they're never so much so that they make you feel outright uncomfortable. And unfortunately, that's becoming less and less the case with series lately. When we get back to the dummy head microphone anime, I wish it stayed on the level of weird ASMR fetish content, but this series feels the need to diversify. And the pace at which it escalates is absolutely alarming. It's not satisfied with a single creepy reincarnation. No, we need a new one for every single episode. Like, episode 2 starts outside of a convenience store, and that's where we learn that our protagonist has become a bicycle seat. And, of course, belonging to one of the girls from the previous episode. What are we even doing here? First of all, our hero is a grown man, full adult. Like, you can see it in his thoughts and reactions to all of these situations he's being put in. The girls, however, they aren't. These are high school girls, and this man is clearly having the time of his life. Like, I know cultural differences and all, but how is this okay? How is it fine for a grown man to be placed in situations with underage girls who have no idea that he's there? And he's just allowed to enjoy every single bit of it? Truthfully, I wish that I could tell you that a bicycle seat was as bad as it can get, but sweetheart, you've seen the thumbnail.
This is horrible. I have become so many things. But the pacifier is just too far.
Yes, our lecherous protagonist comes back this time as a pacifier. gross. And the scenes that he's used in, I'm positive that my channel would get absolutely nuked if I showed too much of them. Who is this even for? I have so many questions, but I honestly don't think I want the answers to those. Okay, girl, deep breaths. Maybe the next episode is normal. Maybe he's a desk fan. A toaster? Maybe an emotionally stable rock. Surely it can't be a chicken? That seems fine. I mean, there was that pig reincarnation anime. It was a little much at times, but it was pretty okay. It wasn't too weird. So maybe this episode is just a cute little... Oh. And they're eating him. I think my soul just blue screened. The speed at which this man went from safe, cuddly chicken to dinner was blinding. And this isn't even the only food episode. Oh no. Episode 9 has him being reborn as some sort of rock candy? At this point, my brain's not working correctly, but I think that's right. And sure, why not? At this point, reality is optional. There are so many reincarnation series out there doing things like this, and I fear it's only a matter of time before we're seeing even weirder stuff like, I don't know, some guy getting reincarnated as an entire hot spring and used by... Oh, this already exists. Of course it does. And yes, it's exactly what you would expect from a series only meant for a certain type of viewer. Like, how did the genre that gave us a masterpiece like Oshinoko fall to these depths? Like, sure, Oshinoko has this pretty weird plot point where a doctor is reincarnated as the child of one of his patients who just happens to be a pretty popular idol. But really, that's just the setup for what is a truly beautiful series that is a scathing expose of Japan's toxic idol culture. It uses the reincarnation as a narrative tool to give you an insight into something deep and meaningful, one that you otherwise might not be able to see. And that's exactly the kind of content that I want. I said it earlier. At its core, this type of anime has always been about escapism. And that's why it's so popular. People feel stuck in their lives and disappointed by the paths that they've taken. And that's why the fantasy of a second life is so powerful. And I would know, as someone who's never once been happy with the person they see staring back at themselves in the mirror, I have personally dreamed of countless reincarnation scenarios. They appeal to me greatly. Again, remember that I said my bookshelf is absolutely plastered with reincarnation and gender bend stories. They mean so much to me, and that's why I care so much that this genre doesn't fall into only being fetish bait content the way so many other things in anime have. I want reincarnation to be transformative again. I want it to be character driven. I want it to mean something more than, haha, funny object man gets used in uncomfortable ways. Because when the series are good, they're genuinely one of the most emotionally powerful things out there. It's about growth, regret, and second chances, imagining a life where you finally get it right. But otherwise, it just becomes another item on the long list of reasons I'm begging Truck-kun to take me out next, just so that I never have to look at this again. If this genre is going to survive, it needs to remember what made it magical in the first place. Anyhow, if you watched this far, you're officially my favorite kind of unhinged. Hit like if you vibe with this rant, and tell me in the comments what the absolute strangest reincarnation you've ever seen was. And if you found one worse than the dummy head microphone, I'm terrified, but I absolutely have to know what it is. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.